buried in all of this is kind of a discussion of if you don't need glasses, then the length of your eye is probably roughly the same as the length of anyone else in this room who doesn't need glasses. If, like me, from the time you were a little kid, you needed glasses, then there's a couple possibilities. One is that your eye is too short. One is that your eye is too long. Another is that you have an astigmatism, but it's possible that you can have an astigmatism and have an eye that's too short or too long.
What if you have 2015?
Your eye is probably less defective. The material is probably less defective isn't the word I want to use. It's crisper, it's clearer, so more uniform, less scattering points. So most of the refraction, where is most of the refraction going to occur? Corny. It occurs right here at the front, the transition from air to water, right? You can do kind of minor adjustments with this crystalline lens. And you have the ciliary muscles. The lens would be under tension. If you relax the ciliary muscles, then the crystalline lens becomes stretched out and becomes much flatter. Is that going to cause more converging or less converging if I flatten this out?
Less converging?
Less. And so is that going to be used for something far away or something close to me?
Something close?
Something far. If it's far away, I don't, so let me try and draw this for you.
Oh yeah, that's my mom told me.
So here's our badly drawn eye. If it's very near, right, I have to bend that light a lot to get it to my fovea. Yeah? But if I put this thing really far away, infinitely far away, then
It's almost parallel.
that's the idea. It doesn't need to bend as much, right, to get to the fovea. So when I relax the ciliary muscles, so if I engage the ciliary muscles, it allows it takes you basically have something that's like a spring, and the ciliary muscle takes the tension off it. That allows it to bow out and round out. If you relax the ciliary muscles, that allows these springs to engage, and it stretches out the lens and makes it less round. That's what you're going to do for distance. For something up close, you're going to engage the ciliary muscle. For which one do you encounter eye strain more? When you're seeing something up close or far away? So the further away it is, no. Eye strain is when you're trying to see something up close. You can relax your eye. You should be able to. I can't. I can't see when but for something far away, you can relax the ciliary muscle and just let your eye be in its natural kind of relaxed position to see things far away. For things up close, that's where you start to have to accommodate. You have to use the ciliary muscle. So there is something called presbyopia. I'm sure many of you know people who have presbyopia. I know that you know at least one, because I'm standing right in front of you. So presbyopia is really insulting. Presbya means old age. So
I'm sorry, Professor.
opia means eye, so presbyopia quite literally means old age eye. And so, but it doesn't matter to me. I've had to wear glasses since I was a little kid. But one of my best friends is named Sunshine. And she has been, graced with kind of the socially normalized version of beauty her whole life, and it's a big part of who she is. I mean, I probably shouldn't say this, but it is. And she has mocked me since I was little about my giant glasses. And she and I are both now at this age where we have presbyopia. And she has never had to wear glasses. But presbyopia comes about because as you age, this lens gets harder and harder, less and less elastic. And so your ability to round it out, make it a round lens, and remember, a round lens does what? Lets me see up close or far away?
Close or
Up close.
Yeah.
So as you age, it doesn't, even when you engage the ciliary muscle, it doesn't round the lens anymore. And so what do you have to do with a restaurant menu?
This.
You have to hold it further and further away. And she is now to that point where she describes it as her arms aren't long enough. So she's like one arm, but I'm waiting for the day. I am a petty, petty little person, I know it. But I am waiting for the day when she has to break out reading glasses. So it really won't matter. She won't care. She'll wear glasses and it'll still look good on her. But I'm still going to tease her. So, okay, so let's talk about issues with the eye. So, let's assume that your eye is too long, effectively. Whether that's because of curvature, whether it's because it just grew a slightly different length. But if it's too long, where is the light going to focus?
In front of the...
It's going to focus in front. So, what kind of corrective lens does this person need?
Divergent.
A diverging lens. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And so what that's going to do is, here, let me, before and after this. Wow, this person really needs glasses. That's just all sorts of wrong. Okay. So what is the light going to do when it leaves this lens?
Gonna spread out.
It's going to do that.
Diverge.
And so now parallel rays landed slightly in front of the fovea, but this is going to bring light to the fovea, if you get this diverging lens correct. Yeah?
What is the word that you use to describe that problem?
So this person is myopic. So this person can see things near, but cannot see things far. This person is your physics teacher.
How do you spell that word?
MYOPIC.
Since we're talking about like the eye, how do like how does the anatomy of like a blind person's eye work?
Oh, I don't know the answer to. So I can tell you color blindness, there's a couple ways. So someone who tells you, like me, that they're colorblind, they don't mean that they can't see color, except, that's really rare. People who only see monochrome. I think that is like one family in France. Sanguine of the blood, right? But people who are colorblind, what they typically mean is that they confuse colors, and that could be that the three types of cones, red, green, and blue, they're either you don't have them in equal proportion, or they're sending signals that are too similar to the brain. So, but how the other, like someone who is fully unsighted, I don't know how that works. Yay?
Yeah.
What if instead, oh wait, forgot which one I was drawing. The focusing power is too weak, or the person's eye is too short.
In this case, you would want a concave.
In this case, we need more focusing power, and so we need a biconvex. Well, it doesn't have to be biconvex, but it does have to be convergent, right? So it has to at least have some convexity.
That's why I think bifocals.
Well, so bifocals are common for people who have presbyopia, because I need glasses to see things that are further away than this. So unfortunately, I can't see anything that's further away than this. But if you correct my inability to see things further away than this by putting a pair of glasses on me, now at my age, I have presbyopia, which means that without my glasses, I can still read things that are this far away. With my glasses, now I need to put them back here, and so one option for people my age is to carve out a region, either the whole lower half, or just if the person is vain or has really good optical insurance and is willing to use it. You do what I did, which is they have a little slot in the lower, and that, if I look through that at this angle, I can see things here again. What is this lens going to do?
Converge.
So before, it couldn't bring two parallel lines to the fovea, but now they're not parallel anymore. Now they're already coming towards the fovea. And so that's probably overkill. Yay? Yeah, that's about right. We're okay with this? So let's figure out how. So farsightedness is hyperopia. Nearsightedness, so. So what this means, nearsighted, I can see near, right? Farsighted is not me. That means that that person can see far, but they have trouble seeing near, right? There's some distance anyone's going to have trouble focusing at, but you know, somewhere out here, you should be able to read. If not, then then you're probably farsighted.
So when you're trying to sight a gun and you're looking through a scope, why does your eye get more tired when you're looking through the sight since you're looking far away?
So anytime you are, I think that there's some
Crosshair.
measure of that you're trying to focus on, which is actually pretty near to you.
Yeah. Well, it's usually like 100 to 300 meters for a rifle.
But is the
scope close to you, yeah.
I'm confused. You mean the crosshair is that far away?
Oh, no.
The thing
trying to
you're
focus.
shooting at.
Yeah.
So the image through the image through the scope that you're trying to compare to the crosshairs is within your near sight region, right? It's near your near point. And so you're having to engage those ciliary muscles. So what kind of is the focal length of the lens that we give for the myopic eye? Is it a positive or negative focal length? Negative. What about for our hyperopic? Hyperopic. So, anyone in here know what their eye prescription is if you wear glasses? Is it negative or positive?
Mine's negative.
Mine's pretty weird. I think one eye is positive, one eye is negative.
Oh, neat. That is actually pretty rare.
Yeah.
That is not common. That's cool. So for me, both eyes are negative, or both focal lengths are negative for correcting my vision. So we can talk about the power of the lens needed, but your prescription is negative if you're nearsighted, positive if you're farsighted. So if without glasses you can't see stuff far away, then you have a negative prescription. If without glasses you struggle to read things that are close to you, then your prescription is positive.
If it's like both, what is that?
Well, so my lenses now are both because I have bifocals. So, but if it's one eye or the other, so it's by eye. So one eye can be myopic, the other can be hyperopic. It's also possible to have something called astigmatism. I also have astigmatism. I'm the genetic lottery. But astigmatism means that if you were to draw a crosshair on my eye, the prescription is different on one axis than it is on another. My eye isn't quite so spherical, so, or at least the radius of curvature along one axis isn't the same as the radius on another axis. So that's called astigmatism. Let's see. So the power of your prescription is 1 over the focal length in meters. So you can gauge the, well, let's do an example. So, this is actually the better of my two eyes, but so if you put something more than 30 centimeters away from me, I can't focus it. So let's start with contact lenses, and then we'll talk about eyeglasses. So we have somewhere around here 1 over p plus 1 over q is 1 over f. Yay? So let's say that I want to be able to see, well, what do I have trouble seeing? Diagnose, this is opening myself up to a world of hurt, but diagnose my problems specifically regarding how far I can see. I have other problems too, but let's.
You only can see 0.3 meters.
So
You cannot see far off.
I can't see far away.
Yeah.
And so I want to be able to put something really far away and still be able to see it. So I want P to approach as far away as possible, just some really big value. Okay? What's the furthest away the image could be and I'd still be able to see it? About 0.3 meters. And so we're going to say that is Q in that case positive or negative?
No, negative.
Why is
It-
it negative?
If Q's positive, where's the image going to be?
50 and we're wrong.
Oh, behind?
Yeah, I don't want that. That's,
That's right.
yeah, my phobia is not backed up. So, yeah? And so what is the focal length for, this is my left eye.
Negative 0.3.
Okay? And so what is the power of this lens?
It
Power. Zero?
1 over
Okay,
0.3.
but infinity?
Power is not, I
No.
don't know what it is.
Okay?
Nó dài quá. How do you get this?
Well, P is 1 over the focal length in meters.
Oh, okay.
So-
Then down. Oh, okay.
Okay? So this is if I was wearing contact lenses. So if I could badly draw this, which, by the way, is my specialty. I'm going to put a diverging lens, right, in front of, so you really got to play around with the curvature to make that diverging, but you can do it. When I was a kid, they didn't have plastic that was air permeable. By the way, so where do you have blood vessels? You do not have blood vessels inside. Your blood vessels are on the sclera, the white outer region, not centered. Why don't you have blood vessels? Scatter light. It would make it really difficult to get light cleanly to the fovea. So how do your cells breathe? Well, water is air permeable, right? So air filters through. When I was a kid, you couldn't put plastic lenses on your eyes. And because plastics, they didn't make them air permeable, oxygen permeable. And so contact lenses, you know what they used to do? They were made out of glass.
Jesus Christ.
And so
Oh,
it was actually,
That sounds
it was fine.
awful.
It really was fine.
did you take that
Don't go all
Well, when I've been wearing 6 years in China.
The,
And I don't know.
So, you could wear them at night,
Oh, sweet.
and it would actually be, it was so rigid that you could take them out in the morning, and you could see for a few hours. Because it would, like, mold your eye to the, it was, I actually preferred it to my dailies. But, so there you're actually kind of changing the contour. What if instead of contact lenses, I wanted to wear eyeglasses? Is it the same prescription?
No.
It is not. Why wouldn't that work? Yeah, so now that lens is about 2 centimeters in front of your eye. Depends where that particular glass is going to sit. That's why when you get fitted for glasses, they check to see kind of where is that frame going to sit on your face. But now, do I need this image cast 0.38 meters?
No.
How far do I need it cast?
We changed that. I give it positive.
Now I need that image cast, well, before I needed it cast here, right? I could only put it 30 centimeters away. But I can still, that's 30 centimeters, but what's this distance? 28. And so we're going to say that 1 over, let me do this in a different color. 1 over infinity plus 1 over minus 0.28 centimeters is equal to 1 over f. So f is 0.28 minus, yeah, 0.28 centimeters. So what is the power of my eyeglass for my left eye?
1 over.
I don't know what that is. Can someone help me? I do know what that is because sadly I just went to the optometrist a few weeks ago.
2.8 centimeters?
1 over, sorry, oh, that's meters. I apologize. 1 over, did I do that anywhere else? 1 over 0.28 and then negated.
35 cents.
3.57.
Yeah. Diopters. Yay? Questions, comments, concerns?
Just as a last question.
Yeah.
When is Q positive and when Q is negative?
Well, so for the lens, Q would be going back to, it's over there somewhere. Q would be positive if it was back here. Q would be negative if it's here, right? The light's coming in this way. If the image is on this side of the lens, then it's positive, but if it's on this side, it's negative.
Is it a virtual image?
Sorry, I can hear over
It's
that.
fine. It's because it is a virtual image.
Yeah. Which also, virtual image for this single lens, is it positive or, sorry, is it upright or is it inverted? It's upright. Which is nice because the world doesn't flip when I put my glasses on or off.
Hold on.
So with our eye, we see the image is the real one or virtual one?
Say this again?
I mean, with my eye, look at you, right? You are real, right? So with my glass, see you also
Debatable,
real.
but-
So it's a real image, right?
This image is cast onto your fovea. If you put a viewing screen there, in this case you did, you put your fovea there. Light is landing there, so that is a real image on the fovea.
Oh.
Questions, comments, concerns? As always, you guys are awesome. Have wonderful days. Thank you for stopping by. Don't be strangers. Enjoy your days, but not so much that we don't see you next time. Go enjoy an extra 30 seconds of this beautiful California weather y'all pay so much to live in. Don't drive your cars.
Bring beer is cheaper.
So our eyes see